We have officially reached a new milestone on the channel. Plus, we're going to do a state of the channel in a little bit on this Inauguration Day 2021. In America, it's the peaceful transition from one president to the next. But anyways, back to my channel. We have officially done it. Over 4 million lifetime views. And that is a big thank you to all of my viewers, subscribers, fans, all of you from past to present, helping me get to over 4 million lifetime views. Thank you so much for your support, for subscribing to the channel, watching my content live streams, as well as liking my content streams, leaving comments, interacting with me in the live chat of my streams, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and joining my Discord community. All that means a great deal to me. And you are a big reason why we are over 4 million lifetime views on the channel. At my heart, I've always been a gamer since I was a kid. And from my radio career to YouTube, I've had a passion for making content and live streaming, which I started nearly 7 years ago with some ideas. Not saying they were good ideas, but my ideas are ideas. It depends on your point of view when it comes to my videos, but my very first video was March 20th, 2014. It was an idea video, technically. GTA Online Bolingbroke Penitentiary. Some of you are aware of that video. And basically what it came down to is for months after the launch of GTA Online, I just had all these different ideas. I was emailing Rockstar, like ideas for this and that and that. And so I noticed there were other YouTubers that were in the gaming side of things, including GTA Online. And since I'd already had at least one YouTube channel at the time, I thought, why not? Give it a try. Let's see what can happen nearly 7 years later. But I've covered a lot of other games and played quite a few on the channel since then, from GTA Online to Watch Dogs, Mafia 3, Ghost of Tsushima, along with Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead Online, Mafia Definitive Edition. There's quite a few playlists on the channel, so if you're ever bored and you want to go watch one of my playthroughs or attempted playthroughs, feel free and do so. That's what the playlists are for. So I thought for fun today, we would go over my most viewed videos on the channel. We're not going to watch them. We're just going to crunch the numbers, have a look at the most popular vids that I guess went viral or viralish, so to speak. By the way, let me know if you remember or can recall the reason why you stumbled across my channel. Was it a specific video or a video game I happened to be playing or covering at the time? Feel free and leave that below in the comment section. And feel free to also let me know what other future games you would like to see me play. It could be a game coming out in 2021. It could be a game from the past that you think I could enjoy playing in a future live stream. Feel free and leave all that below in the comment section. So here we go. I guess we can just do top 10. I think top 10 will work. So at the very top of my list is Mafia 3 Vito Scaletta backstory. By the way, I'm a huge Vito Scaletta fan. I love playing Mafia 2. That was long before the channel came out, and I have played through Mafia 2 3 times now on the channel. Yes, 3 times. Xbox 360, Xbox One, and most recently PS4 Pro, I believe. Obviously, I love Mafia 2, and Vito Scaletta is a fantastic protagonist. And that video was leading up to the release of Mafia 3. And I threw my knowledge out there about Vito Scaletta. I didn't expect it to get as many views as it got, but as of right now, it has 258,603 views for my #1 video as of right now. Followed closely by my Red Dead Online Beginner's Guide video, which I put out 3 years later in June 2019. And this one I put a lot of work to. That's the reason why it's so long, because I really wanted to try and give a new player to Red Dead Online as much information as possible. And it was different back then because players that were playing Red Dead Online had first and foremost purchased Red Dead Redemption 2. So obviously Red Dead Redemption 2 served as a tutorial of sorts for Red Dead Online, even though things have changed over the past year. When it comes to Red Dead Online, things have been added and changed. and I have debated about coming out with a future revised version of the beginner's guide, which would be a lot of work. So if you think I should do that, also feel free and let me know below in the comment section. The problem now is a lot of players are coming into Red Dead Online because it's standalone, and that means that even though they only paid $5 for Red Dead Online, they're only playing Red Dead Online. They never played Red Dead Redemption 2, therefore they don't have the benefit of that awesome single-player game. It is a great game, including an awesome protagonist in Arthur Morgan. He's up there with Vito Scaletta, John Marston, and a few others as well. However, a player coming straight into Red Dead Online without any of that knowledge or experience from Red Dead Redemption 2 are going to be at a lot more of a disadvantage than players that played Red Dead Redemption 2 and then come into Red Dead Online. So it's a reason why I'm considering doing a future Red Dead Online Beginner's Guide revised video sooner or later, perhaps. That video has 243,927 views. The third video on my list is my Red Dead Redemption on PlayStation Now video. This has over 105,000 views. This came out December 7th, the day of infamy, 2016. And it was during my free 1-week trial of PlayStation Now. It was horrible. I hated PlayStation Now. I don't know if it's any better over the past 4 years or not. But if you have a PlayStation 4, this is technically the only way you could play Red Dead Redemption or Undead Nightmare is through the PlayStation Now, whereas the Xbox One is backwards compatible. I have a copy of Red Dead Redemption 1 from the Xbox 360, which I was able to make backwards compatible over on my Xbox One X. So Xbox One players don't really have this problem. So this is the only way that PlayStation 4 players could play Red Dead Redemption is through PlayStation Now. So I did a few videos trying out Red Dead Redemption on PlayStation Now, and for the most part, it was awful. It still might be. Maybe it's better now. I honestly don't know, but for some reason, I guess there's a lot of Red Dead Redemption fans on PlayStation 4 that were really wanting to play Red Dead Redemption, or they never played it before. And the sad reality is PlayStation Now is their only option. And it still probably is bad because it's streaming. And I don't know if really streaming a video game is the best idea. Live streaming is different because you're playing the video game, but having to play a game that's streamed similar to like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, etc., I just feel like it's a bad idea. Stadia's tried it. They failed. I think Amazon has tried it as well. Haven't really heard much about their attempts so far. Eventually, maybe it'll be good enough, but I highly doubt it. So far, those have been my only 3 videos that have breached 100,000 or more views, so that's pretty sweet. 4th place, 97,000, goes to my Red Dead Redemption 2 Special Ultimate Edition pre-order bonuses. Unfortunately, that doesn't really apply anymore because, well, you can no longer pre-order Red Dead Redemption 2. The Far Cry 5 ending theory video is 89,000 views, and that one is debunked because of Far Cry New Dawn. Interestingly enough, people still leave comments on that video, but I don't really see the point because of New Dawn, even though some people say that the entire timeline of Far Cry 5 might be itself debunked because of Far Cry 6 whenever that game ends up coming out. Number 6, at 55,000 views, you can see the drop from 89 to 55,000. Mafia 3 1 year later. This was a year after Mafia 3 came out, and the game had improved over the past year, but there were still some issues. So I think that's probably what that video mostly is about. How even though it had a really bad launch in October 2016, it did get a little bit better a year later. Plus, you also have the story updates that came out in between them, like Faster Baby, Stones Unturned, and of course, Sign of the Times. Number 7, Mafia 3, Lincoln Clay backstory, the protagonist of Mafia 3. So I did a lot of comparison between Lincoln Clay and obviously John Rambo, if you look at the thumbnail, because they both felt very similar to me at the time, even though this was many months before the launch of Mafia 3. This was, what, May 2016. This video got 50,000 views. And I just had this wild theory that the writers behind Mafia 3 were probably inspired by John Rambo. Played, of course, in First Blood and all the other Rambo movies by the legendary Sylvester Stallone. Number 8, it is the GTA Online Xbox One versus Xbox 360 GTA video. And this is when I first got the Xbox One and I was able to do like a side-by-side comparison graphically between the two versions of GTA Online. That got me 47,000 views. At 46,000 views was my South Park Fractured Butthole Season Pass video, where I basically go over everything that comes out with the Season Pass for South Park Fractured Butthole. I have some South Park videos on the channel, by the way, both Fractured Butthole as well as Stick of Truth, just in case you happen to be a fellow South Park fan. And at number 10, this is the most controversial one on the list, because at the time I didn't expect this video, actually most of these videos, to get as many views as they got. I'm glad that they got views, because as a content creator and a streamer, you want to get as many views as you can get for your content. This one was during an event week in GTA Online. It was GTA Online Flight Week, which I covered. But along with Flight Week, Rockstar also announced the Social Club two-step verification process and rewards, which I did go over, and I attempted to try to explain the two-step verification process, even though at the time in March 2019, I myself wasn't a complete expert. I really wish I would have done a better job in this video breaking it down for people. I tried my best with my limited knowledge and know-how, but at the same time, there were a lot of people in this video in the comment section that were coming to this video because they were looking for help to get their two-step verification process set up, and obviously they were having a very difficult time doing it. So it felt really bad seeing those comments and feeling like I just couldn't help them. And I always try to help people. That's the reason why I have my guides videos for like Red Dead Online. I really do want to help. I want to entertain people. I want to inform people. And whenever I feel like I have failed in that process, I don't think I deserve to be rewarded for failure. And this is definitely a reward for my own personal failure. Now, there were people that were good enough in the comments section to help each other out, and I'm glad to see those comments. But at the end of the day, I, in hindsight, really wish I would have done a little bit better job than I did when it came to the steps regarding two-step verification. At the time, I felt like I did as good as I could, but looking back, I really wish I would have done better, but what can you do? Real quick, there's a few more I want to go over, not just the horses rant. That's actually my most popular rant on the entire channel. It has 32,470 views. So that's something I just realized looking over these numbers. My most popular rant ever to this point. And my rant series used to be quite popular. Well, popular for my channel. And I'm sure some of you actually came to my channel because of one of my rants. I don't really like ranting as much as I used to, which is why I now have like other series, like my ideas series, my thoughts series. But if something really pisses me off in a game, or any information that comes out in the gaming industry that ticks me off, and I feel like taking a trip up to Mount Soapbox, I will do so in future rants. There was a time whenever I would try to do out a rant every week, but after a while, it became a lot more difficult to come up with a new topic to rant about. Eventually, I decided instead of weekly, I would just put out a rant video whenever there happened to be something to rant about, which is why there's been less trips to Mount Soapbox as of late. Now, the final two videos I want to talk about real quick were technically my first two viral-ish videos on the channel, if you count them viral. Okay, if not, what exactly constitutes as viral, by the way? That's a good question. So this was in 2014. We had Watch Dogs that came out. It was the very first game besides GTA Online that I covered and made videos for. And I came out with two specific Watch Dogs videos that got some views. First off was, I believe, the loading screen patch, or was it loading screen bug issues? They came out around the same time, the summer of 2014. So I did some videos on Watch Dogs. I also did some Racing Badly, because I used to have my Racing Badly series. There's playlists. Feel free and check it out. I love racing, but I suck at racing, which is why the show is called Racing Badly. And these were my two first viral-ish videos revolving around the loading screen issue and patch of Watch Dogs, because there was a problem players had with trying to load into Watch Dogs, and they just couldn't load in. It would just sit there. Similar to the infinite loading screen in Red Dead Online, but at least with that, close app and restarting the game usually fix that problem. With Watch Dogs, no. you would reach this infinite loading screen bug, and no matter how many times you restarted the game, you would still get the loading screen bug, and it would go on and on and on. It would prevent you from progressing further in Watch Dogs. So I did 2 separate videos about this, the patch as well as the bug issue. Both of those reached over 30,000 views, and I think I still get a comment or two every now and then to this day, because Ubisoft never went back and fixed this problem to Watch Dogs, the original Watch Dogs game. And it's the same scenario. I really wish that I had an answer to people that had problems with this loading screen issue, just like of any other issue that comes up in previous videos and on live streams. I do try to be as helpful as possible, depending on whether or not I actually have the information or the knowledge. But at the same time, quite interesting that even though I started the channel in spring of 2014 covering GTA Online, it was 2 Watch Dogs videos that for the longest time were my more popular videos that I find very interesting. And it wasn't until my Stallion Hardtop series, where I was campaigning for Rockstar to add more customization options for the Stallion, like the hardtop, the soft top, and being a convertible in Los Santos Customs. That was technically the very first GTA Online video that actually did quite well for me, reaching over 23,000 views as of right now. So those are some numbers. Hopefully you're still awake as we mosey into the state of the channel. Over the past weekend, I had some audio issues during the live stream. I sincerely apologize for that. I don't know if it was an OBS issue because there was a recent update to OBS. It could be my brand new microphone, the Blue Yeti, but I think I may have tweaked everything. So hopefully by the next live stream, both the gameplay audio as well as my microphone levels will have a good mixture once again. It is interesting that prior weeks it was just fine, and I've been using this Yeti X, which I bought for my birthday a few weeks ago. Actually, it's been a month. A month has already passed since my birthday. Wow. So I've had this Yeti X for a month and change, or last somewhere in that ballpark. It's been okay. A little lower, but up until the OBS update, my live stream seemed fine. The audio issue on my mic was okay. The gameplay audio issue was fine. So I'm going to blame OBS for their latest update on why my audio issues over the weekend went crazy. But hopefully by the next stream, that'll be fine. Now, for those of you wondering, why is there specifically Red Dead Online content on the channel? Why am I no longer covering GTA Online? As I pointed out, it was the very first game on the channel. It was the reason for the season. It's why the channel exists to begin with, because of my ideas. Well, as of right now, I personally have no interest in GTA Online other than playing with friends like I did the other night with Riley and Red, doing some survivals, and I'm an OG GTA Online player. I loved playing survivals back in the day, and I for years asked for a survival creator, but by the time Rockstar came out with a survival creator, I just didn't care as much as I used to, but it was alright. Every now and then I'm okay at playing GTA Online, and whenever there's a new update to the game and new content, more stuff to do, I will probably go back to GTA Online and cover that information, as well as live stream GTA Online, hopefully in the future. As of right now, I have decided to focus on Red Dead Online, for better or worse, till further notice. In other words, you could make the argument that I'm going from one burning boat, which is GTA Online, burning in the public lobbies, with God mode, as well as people using the broomstick, the Oppressor Mark II, to orbital spam glitching by the griefers, to a potentially sinking ship of Red Dead Online. But the way that the YouTube algorithm works for gaming channels is they kind of sort of force content creators and streamers to play or cover one game. We actually get punished by the algorithm if we deviate from it. That's something I didn't learn until a year or so ago, or maybe further back. And that's something I'm trying to, I guess, refocus on in the hopes that the algorithm will bless me and acknowledge my existence. Plus, I have to go by the views. I am getting more views for my Red Dead Online content than I was getting for my GTA Online content post Cayo Perico Heist. Those views took a major dump, and I do pay attention to the views. So I had to make a decision. Do I wish to keep making GT Online content that obviously my viewers don't seem to care about, or focus on what my viewers, my active viewers, you, my viewers and subscribers actually do want? And as of right now, I guess that's Red Dead Online, even though those numbers are also starting to go down. It could be because of the fact that there's no new content in Red Dead Online. Another factor is Januaries are usually the lowest viewed month for content and live streams for YouTube. So that's another factor as well why things are on the low when it comes to views on my channel. So till further notice, the focus is Red Dead Online, for better or worse. I hope it is for the better. And if there's any other games that come out in the future, I will definitely be covering and playing those if they happen to pique my interest. And that's just the way I do it. That's how I roll. But once I get a PlayStation 5 eventually, I do intend to stream Ghost of Tsushima New Game Plus, as well as Mafia 3 Definitive Edition. I'm just waiting for eventually getting my hands on a PS5 in order to do that. Now, the other thing that some people may wonder is, well, if you do better at live streaming than with the recorded content, why don't you just stream more than 4 days a week? The truth is, doing that 2 hours, 3 hours is fun. I enjoy it. I love interacting with my viewers and subscribers, but it does take a toll on you. It is a lot of energy you got to put into the game. You got to play the game. You got to focus on throwing something up on the screen for people to watch, like daily challenges, sells, other nonsense that happens to transpire. Plus, you got to interact with the viewers that are in the live chat. So there's a lot of things that I have to do in every live stream. I'm having to multitask. Plus, I'm also trying to come up with ideas and topics to bring up, because one of the greatest sins I learned in radio was dead air. Always try to come up with something to talk about, something to bring up, even if it's just random nonsense or just a running joke in the live chat or just something else entirely. You just got to throw something out there, or anything that happens to transpire in the game. It's better than nothing. And that's, doing it 4 days a week. It does leave me a little tired, a little fatigued by the time I get to the end on Sunday. So it is nice to be able to take a few days off, unless there happens to be new content Red Dead Online, and that encourages me and entices me to want to stream more. But as of right now, we are in a drought when it comes to new content. And the next thing to come is in March, when Outlaw Pass 4 expires and Outlaw Pass 5 begins. So that's like the next thing coming to Red Dead Online, which is still a couple months away. And then after that, we have to patiently wait till the end of Outlaw Pass 5, most likely, until we get the next actual update to Red Dead Online, which may not be till like late spring, early summer. So we are a long ways off from actual new content in the game, which is not good. But at the same time, I still feel like there's potential with this game, and I sincerely hope that 2021 is the year that Rockstar turns Red Dead Online around. I guess we'll find out one way or the other in the next major update, which, once again, I believe will probably happen early spring, late summer. If it comes much sooner than that, all the better, because right now there are definitely less and less people playing Red Dead Online with each passing week. And that number is going to drop dramatically after February 15th, because after February 15th, it will go back to regular prices for the standalone version of Red Dead Online. So there's still a few weeks left to get into Red Dead Online as a standalone game for only $5 US. After that, then you're going to see a drop in new players. Along with continuing forward of Red Dead Online streams, thoughts videos, ideas videos, etc., I'm also intending on playing a few additional games here or there. Algorithm be damned. So once I get PS5, as I mentioned already, I will definitely be streaming through Ghost of Tsushima New Game Plus, Mafia 3 Definitive Edition. I'm also contemplating bringing back my GB Cast series, which was a weekly series, short-lived, where I just sat around, we talked with viewers, and we went over a variety of subjects and topics. There was no real gaming going on. I just sat there in the webcam. You know how it works. There's a lot of live streamers out there that do it. They go over articles and topics and whatnot. So we may eventually bring back the GB Cast, where I'll talk about gaming news, movie news, TV show news, comic book news, etc. The return of the GB Cast could be happening in the near future, or maybe it won't. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, so there you go, the state of the channel, and 4 million lifetime views. Once again, it means a great deal to me that all of you have supported the channel, whether you're new or a veteran to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. And if you've made it to this point in the video, I want to know your honest input. What direction do you think the channel should go? Should I continue focusing on Reddit Online, live streaming and making content? Is there other games coming out in 2021 that I should be interested in, intrigued by, and start considering playing? Past games as well as welcoming recommendations, bringing back the GB cast. All your thoughts, views, and opinions regarding the state of the channel and its future, as always, welcome below in the comments section.